going on, everyone? It's my back again, and I have done this video, so you will hear that again. This is a little snippet just for Leighton Baines, and there is one at the end of the video, but I just want to say, Leighton, it's been an absolute pleasure you playing in a blue shirt. If this is your last game, I really hope you've signed a new deal. And look, in my heart of hearts, I think you have, and I think he has signed for Everton, because, you know, Carlo Ancelotti come out 2 weeks ago and said, you know, pinpointed all the positions, and left back wasn't one of them. So if we've got Luca Dean and Leighton Baines, I'm more than happy with that going into next summer, so next season. So I hope you're staying, but if you're not, I wish you the very best of luck, and you've been an absolute fantastic servant to Everton Football Club, and I'm really sorry we haven't won a trophy with you, because you thoroughly deserve it. And come back in a coaching role, teach some of these kids how to defend, teach them how to whip a ball in with their left and right foot, because there is no better technique in the Premier League, in my opinion, than your wand of a left foot. So, yeah, enjoy the video, guys. What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. And before we start the match preview for Everton against Bournemouth, I just want to say, I know about the sound in the buy and sell video, but it was an hour and 20 minutes long, and by the time that it had been recorded, the damage was done. But it's a good video. Like, it is a really good in-depth video. So it seemed a shame. And he's equally a piss take on Ben, who's new to the channel, doing any content for the channel, to ask him to redo a video of that length. The video you can still hear. It's not horrific. I literally tried to minimise it as much as I physically could. And it's done really well in the views. So, look, thank you ever so much. Obviously, the audio will not be like that every week. And Ben's just said next time he comes on, he'll just have a pair of headphones on, and we'll all have headphones, and you won't have that problem. So, just wanted to make that address first. Now we go into the Everton v Bournemouth game. Everton go into this game favourites at home, last game of the season. Usually you'd have the parade, you walk around the pitch, and there's a bit more, you know, not a holiday vibe, but, you know, a loving feeling vibe, saying goodbye to the players for their pre-season. Seeing the kids walking out, waving to the fans, you know, it's a family day. Not this year. You know, this game is a nothing game for me. It's a nothing game for Bournemouth. It's a, you know, Bournemouth are down. I think they already know it. The goal swing that would have to happen is virtually impossible, apart from if you're Nottingham Forest. And I think they just accept the fact they're not going to stay up. You know, they're just not going to stay up. Villa are in the driving seat. They go to West Ham. Villa can go and get a result. Watford are away at Arsenal. Arsenal have got a cup final to think about. What sort of team are they going to play? Look, either way, I can't see one of those two teams losing so badly that Bournemouth can win this game and get promoted. I just can't see it. Stay in the league. So anyway, let's talk about the Everton game. And let's also just go back a little bit to the Sheffield United game. Everton played in that Sheffield United game really well. We dominated the entire game. And this is a team that has been fighting for Europe the majority of the season. They were fourth at one point. I think it was 10 games ago. They were fourth. They're a very organised team. Wilder's had them setting up really well. But Carlo Ancelotti knew how to break them down, knew how to play them, knew they would play out from the back, which would allow us to hurt them essentially in the middle of the park. And Gomez was brilliant. He was popping them balls off. He was finding that little bit of space. And the Bournemouth are going to come into this game and absolutely go at us, because they have to. They have to score goals. And this again is another opportunity for players like Gomez, like Sigurdsson and Davies in that midfield to just cement the positioning in this game and dominate the middle of the park. You know, if we play like a similar system like we did against Sheffield United, I think Everton destroy Bournemouth, to be brutally honest. I think we absolutely trounce them, because I just don't see where Bournemouth are going to have enough firepower. You know, they've not scored goals a lot. They've only had 8 shots on target or something in the last 6 games. Some ridiculous stat. So they're not in good form. We go into the game. We know about our injuries at the minute. There will be some players that aren't there, like Mason Holgate, Fabian Delph. But look, I did the buy and sell video yesterday. Holgate is obviously our number one, and Delph can jog on. So, you know, we're not affected by any different injuries, I don't believe. I'd love to see Moise Kean have a bit of a game. You know, I'd love to see him have 45 minutes. You know, there's a picture come out this morning of him training, and he's got a smile on his face. Moise Kean is a player that I've said this time and time again. I think he's got real ability, but He needs to be given the platform to show it. And I thought the same with Lookman. It's not happened as yet. And that, look, Carlo Ancelotti and Marco Silva know a lot more about these players than I do. But for me, he gets 45 minutes. He deserves 45 minutes. In terms of the Everton team, I'll make very little changes if we can help it. You know, Branthwaite starts again. I want to see him on the turn. Ben made a really good point the other day. His reading of the game is phenomenal. His heading ability is phenomenal. For a centre-back as young as 18 years old, he has got real potential. But I want to see what he's like on the turn. You know, is he slow? Is he quick? We had Phil Jagielka, and Phil Jagielka at times was one of the quickest players in the league. You know, he could recover out of situations that other players may put him in, like Distan at the time or Lescott. Can he do that if Mason Holgate makes a mistake, and vice versa? Because for me, at this moment in time, if I could pick my first two pairing, it would be Branthwaite and Holgate, which is scary to say that. You know, with the experience of Michael Keane and Yerry Mina on the bench, it's a bit weird saying that. In obviously defensively, he played Sidibe, he's played Coleman, he's tried different options at right back. For me, I'll go with Coleman. As long as he's fit, I'll go with Coleman in this game. And it's just because I think Bournemouth are going to have... They've got skill. They've got quality on the wings, and I don't trust Sidibe defensively. He's fine going forward. Like, if he was a winger for 5 or 6 million quid and his wages weren't ridiculous, I'd probably take a punt on him, because he does run up the line and get the ball over. He's not scared of doing that. But defensively, he's all over the fucking shop. He's horrific. It's like Cuckoo Martina on fucking skates. It's terrible. So for me, Coleman would start. Luca Dean obviously starts as well, as long as everything's all right with Luca Dean. Pickford has to start just because, you know, we already know that. You know, we already know that players like Stecklenburg and Virginia just aren't good enough. Reason for me pausing there was actually a Southampton YouTube channel sending me a little bit of a description about HOJBJERG and how good he is, because I asked them, because we don't see him every week, but obviously it looks like he's going to Spurs now. Then in midfield, I'll go with literally... I essentially go with the same team that starts against Sheffield United. So I won't name them. I'll go with exactly the same team as long as everyone's fit. And I just think as long as they do their job, their purpose, you know, they get in their faces, they push Bournemouth back, because they're going to come at us. As we push them back and dominate midfield, we win this game 4-0. We absolutely batter them all over the park. They're just not good enough. You know, I think in my predictions video at the start of the season, I said they were going to go down. I got it right. They looked like they were 5th or something in September. But I got it right, and they're going down, and that is that. Bournemouth, the only way they win this game is if they can just constantly apply pressure on the back two. Michael Keane can make a mistake. Putting balls in the air to Pickford, he will make a mistake. So they've got to constantly be getting balls in the box, you know, using the pace of players like Stanislas, or I know they're not starting Fraser. Fraser hasn't played a game for them, but I like to think. I genuinely believe if Eddie Howe would have said, look, fair enough, you're leaving at the end of the season, just give me your all for your last 6 games, I think Bournemouth would have stayed up. I think Ryan Fraser is that sort of player for Bournemouth. He's creative. He was number 2 in assists last season. And for Eddie Howe to just say, look, you know, he's basically pissed Premier League football up the wall just because someone's not signing a new contract. It's pathetic from Eddie Howe. And how he was touted to get the Everton job and other jobs similar is fucking ridiculous, and just shows what the pundits on Sky are like. They're shit. Look, the players that will hurt us are King, Brooks, Stanislas. He scored 2 goals against us before. Bournemouth have always been a bit of a bogey side for us. You know, we drew 3-3 with them. We drew 2-2 after being 2-0 up, after being 3-1 up. I can't wait for them to not be in the Prem, to be honest. And it's nothing against Bournemouth. They are just a bogey side. But yeah, I think that is it. I think this is it for Bournemouth. I think they are going down, and I think they're going to go down with a whimper. I'm going to go Everton. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0, but it could be 4. We could batter these, but equally, Everton might not turn up and get a 1-1 draw. I don't think we lose to Bournemouth. But I just think this game, last game of the season, is very difficult. There's a lot of players playing for their shirt, so you like to think they've got a bit of determination. For me, I think this is probably the last we'll see of Gylfi Sigurdsson. I hope. I think it's the last we may see of Fabian Delph, if he even turns up to the ground to do like a little parade. I don't know if they will bother, but you know, if he's there, I think it's the last time we'll see him. I think it's the last time we'll see a few players, and it wouldn't surprise me if Tom Davies left in the summer as well, which means we need 2 midfielders. So it's an interesting game just to see who actually puts a performance in. Yeah. And I'm going to I've touched on this at the start of the video just as a separate segment, but look, if this is Leighton Baines' last game, then he would start for me. We don't know that, but the fact that Carlo Ancelotti hasn't come out and said left back is a priority makes me think he's signed a new deal, makes me think it might be announced during the game. But look, if this is Leighton Baines' last game for Everton, I just want to say, from an Everton perspective, from a fan channel perspective, but more importantly in this case, from my own personal perspective, Leighton, you've been brilliant for this club, and I'm really, really sorry we couldn't win a trophy for you. You know, the FA Cup final, the semi-finals, you know, in Europe. I'm really, really sorry we couldn't win a trophy for you. But I do wish you the very best wherever you go. But you have been an absolute professional from start to finish of your time at Everton Football Club. And from me, and I'm sure the majority, if not all of the fans, stay safe. And I hope you keep playing, mate, because you've still got a wand of a left foot, as you proved against Leicester. And that is that, guys. This is the end of the season. Yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for watching these previews. It's been really, really massive for us. Obviously, we've got the match reaction. We've got the watch along. We've got other videos during the summer. But the growth this channel's had in the last 8 weeks has been unbelievable. We've gained around 450 to 500 subscribers. The watch-alongs have been brilliant. So we're going to keep doing watch-alongs. So we're going to try and do all the pre-season games. We're going to try and do all the games that me and John don't go to, which tends to be the away ones, but the home ones as well. So we will try and do the watch-alongs for those games. And look, thank you ever so much for your support, because honest to God, the channel's flying. Next season, it'll be more Premier League focused as well. There'll be more about other clubs. So please share that, because, you know, I want this channel to grow. It doesn't just want to be about Everton. I want it to be about Everton and the Premier League. So support us with that. But guys, look, absolutely fantastic support this season. Thank you ever so much. And I hope we go into this game and hope we batter them all over the park. See you soon. Peace.